Hello everyone, welcome to today's Kid Spot and welcome back to my kitchen where I've been very busy baking and making this dough. Now it doesn't look very appetizing right now, it's a bit pale, a bit raw, and if I was to ask you just to eat a lump of raw eggs, raw flour and butter, you probably wouldn't want to. It doesn't sound appealing. But if I was to put this same dough into a very hot oven for about 10 to 15 minutes, it will turn out looking like this. A cookie. And I think you all agree with me, sounds much more delicious. Now, let's pretend that this lump of raw dough, let's pretend it has some feelings. And it doesn't, just to be clear, it doesn't have any feelings, but let's just pretend it does today. And do you think if I told this dough that I wanted it to go into a burning hot oven where it was just going to get flattened out and really hot and cooked and all dried out, that it would want to? No, it wouldn't. But if I don't bake this dough, it will remain inedible. I mean, it's full of raw eggs and raw flour. It will be unpalatable, inedible, and will not achieve the purpose for which it is created. It would not become what it was made to be. Sometimes in our lives, we have to go through things that are hard, things that are painful, things that we would choose to avoid. Through hard times and painful experiences, we learn resilience, we learn patience, we grow and change. And even though it may take us a long time, usually after a hard experience, we can actually look back and see some positives that have come because of it. Now this reminds me of a story in the Bible of a man named Lazarus. Now he and his two sisters were very good friends with Jesus, but one day Lazarus got really sick and his sisters were worried. They were so worried that they asked Jesus to come so that he could heal him. But it took Jesus quite a while to get there, and by the time he arrived at their home, Lazarus had died. Now his sisters were really sad, and Jesus was also really sad at the death of Lazarus, and his sisters asked him, "Lord, why? If you were here, you could have healed him." They didn't understand why God would allow this to happen, but Jesus knew that this was to show God's glory. So Jesus went down to the tomb where they had placed Lazarus' body and ordered that the stone be rolled away. Now, people were alarmed because Lazarus' body had been in there for 4 days. And so everyone knew that after 4 days, inside that tomb would be rather stinky and smelly and just a little bit gross. But he insisted. And once the stone was gone, Jesus looked up to the heaven and said, "Father, thank you for hearing me. You always hear me, but I said it out loud for the sake of all these people standing here, so that they will believe you sent me." Then Jesus shouted, "Lazarus, come out." And he did. He walked right out of that tomb. He was alive and completely okay. Everyone was amazed. They couldn't really believe it. But not only could Jesus heal people who were sick, he was able to bring the dead back to life again. Jesus healed Lazarus, but just not in the way his sisters expected. They probably hoped that Jesus would get there in time and that Lazarus wouldn't die. But the way it happened meant that people saw God's power in an even more spectacular way, in a way that couldn't be denied. So I want to encourage you that when you are going through hard times, remember that God is still there at work in you and through you. And even though you might not be able to see it or feel it, he is there right in the middle of it all. And he will take care of you. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you all next time.